Modern internet culture is obsessed with the idea of the silent alpha. We see endless portrayals of men and women who project power by simply refusing to speak, staring blankly while the world spins into chaos around them. But treating quietness as an unbreakable rule breeds passivity. By refusing to engage with your environment, you aren't exhibiting strength. You are simply removing yourself from the board and allowing others to dictate your life. Historical Stoicism never advocated for being a mute wall. It demanded active restraint, which implies knowing exactly when to hold your tongue and exactly when to strike. There are 7 specific thresholds where staying quiet makes you complicit in your own or others' downfall. In these moments, Stoicism identifies speech as a moral necessity. We can organize these moments into the hierarchy of voice. It scales from the immediate needs of personal survival up to the broader needs of the world. Navigating these 3 levels ensures you are an active participant in your reality, rather than a casualty. We start at the foundation, securing your own perimeter. This level covers the 3 scenarios where your personal autonomy is under direct threat. The first trigger is when your boundaries are crossed. If someone pushes against your limits and you remain silent, you are effectively granting them permission to keep pushing. You must also speak when silence itself becomes a tool of manipulation. Aggressors often use conversational voids, or the silent treatment, to control the dynamic, and breaking that silence is the only way to disrupt their leverage. Finally, silence must be broken when your reputation is at stake. Protecting your integrity doesn't require a loud or aggressive display. It requires a firm, clear statement of the facts. Defending these 3 lines, boundaries, manipulation, and integrity, is how you maintain your status as a self-governing individual. At this foundational level, your voice acts as an impenetrable shield. If you leave it on the ground, you invite emotional and psychological invasion. Once you are secure, the focus shifts outward. Level 2 involves 2 scenarios, where speech becomes a moral duty to others and to reality itself. This begins when you face injustice. For a wrong to persist, it requires the people witnessing it to provide a friction-free environment through their silence. Standing by while a visible wrong occurs is an active choice. Your voice is the weight required to tip the scales back toward fairness. The second trigger here is when a truth must be spoken. Lies are parasitic. They require dark, unchallenged spaces to take root and spread. Objective truth is not self-defending. It requires a human voice to call out a falsehood before it can be accepted as reality by those around you. At level 2, speaking up maintains the structural integrity of the truth, preventing the social fabric from fraying under the weight of deception. The hierarchy reaches the apex, where your voice transitions from a defensive shield into a proactive, creative catalyst. This happens first when someone needs guidance. If you possess the wisdom to help someone who is lost, withholding that experience is a disservice to their potential. A single sentence of hard-won advice, delivered at the right moment, can permanently alter the trajectory of someone's life. The final scenario is when you can inspire change. Words used wisely carry enough weight to dismantle old systems and steer the future. True altruism requires you to step out of the comfort of quiet observation, so you can actively lift the people around you. Silence and speech function as a single system. To use one effectively, you must understand the necessity of the other. They are interconnected tools of the same Stoic discipline. One builds the internal strength, while the other applies that strength to the external world. Philosophical mastery is the ability to maintain your baseline of quiet until one of these 7 thresholds is met, then deploying your voice with absolute precision. You aren't talking to fill the air or satisfy an ego. You speak exclusively to protect your borders, to anchor the truth, and to provide direction for others. Treat silence as your unshakable foundation, but recognize your voice as the most effective tool you have for building a life worth living.